Dubs!
San Francisco, are you ready?
This is the GoldCast.
Boom! Welcome to another edition of the GoldCast. We are the voice of the Bay. I'm your host, Rudy Solis III, and with me is my brother, my co-host,
Raymond Solis the first, baby.
Oh, man. Raymond, it is here. The third ring. 6 rings. 8 years. 8 championship appearances. One in all 3 sports. The Warriors have brought to San Francisco, the San Francisco Bay Area, its third dynasty. First the 49ers, then the Giants at the beginning of this decade, and now the Warriors close the trifecta and bring the third dynasty home. Man, the game, I think if you weren't a Warriors fan, if you're a Cavs fan, it was probably pretty depressing. Cavalier Chris, I hope he's okay wherever he is. But the Cavs pretty much laid down and died. The defense of the Warriors was smothering. They were not going to let this become a repeat of last year where the refs basically catapulted the Cavs into a Game 5 scenario. And the Warriors just laid the smackdown pretty hard. And it was pretty evident about, I would say, midway through the third quarter.
Never seen a team quit like that before.
Man, they just were like out. I mean, to me, it was like they always say on TNT NBA. Like right before the game, they all put their hands in the middle and said, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. And they're like, let's just get out of here, man. Let's just get out of here. It was glorious. I fully admit I choked up. I got teary-eyed. It was one of the greatest moments to be a San Francisco Bay Area sports fan. It is just monumentous what this decade has been for us. I remember last decade seeing the success of Boston and being like uber jealous and like also just like, God, their fans were so obnoxious. I'm sure everybody hates us too. I don't care. But their fans are so obnoxious. And I was like, God, these teams are obnoxious. And the Pats we're always caught cheating. And so you could never really fully root for them. And who the hell likes the Celtics outside of Boston? You know, and I don't really care for the Bruins. And I definitely don't care about the Red Sox. And but I remember thinking, why can't we have that? Why can't San Francisco have that? And the Warriors have delivered that to us, and it's an incredible time, man. It's so dope. The experience was incredible. I just couldn't believe here we are, another championship, another championship. It's incredible. This is 6 championships. We have been, well, not exactly, but we have been. Feels like, even though it hasn't actually happened this way, numbers wise it has. But we basically have been in the championship almost every year this decade, and I never just thought something like this would happen. Did I want it to happen? Yes. Did I think, why not us? Did I ask that a million times? I do. How many of you out there, you guys know, GoldCast Nation, how many of us out there just thought, why not us? Why can't San Francisco have nice things? You know, what is this dynasty only ever going to be the 49ers? And the Giants really stepped up, and then the Warriors closed the door, and now all of our sports teams have a dynasty. All of them do. We have experienced, if you've lived as long as Raymond and I have, which has been 100 years, if you've lived 100 years
combined,
then you've experienced a dynasty with us. Combined, a combined 100 years, a combined 150 years Raymond and I have lived. And so if you've lived as long as us, you have now lived through 3 dynasties. And Ray, let's hope for 300 more. I want to hand it off to you. How are your feelings on this momentous occasion? The Warriors delivering a dynasty, delivering the 6th championship this decade to San Francisco, to the Bay Area. The Bay Area. Yay area. Here we go. What do you think?
It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the Warriors to fulfill the sweep for the first time against the Cavs, which is something they haven't done. And I was pretty confident in their ability to do that because the Cavs they weren't the same team. And LeBron is good, but he's not good enough to single-handedly win a game. Although he got close in game 1. Game 1 is definitely when he got the closest. And I think that was more or less because the Warriors weren't necessarily playing the usual sound defense that they played. So it was a lack of efficiency on their end, which allowed LeBron James to kind of really have his way in game 1, and of course led to the 51 points that we all saw. However, that ended up, not happening. And this game ended up, even though the game was a little anticlimactic because the Cavs just laid down and died. I've never seen a team quit before the way this team quit. I was surprised. Even LeBron quit with 4 minutes. Had enough. I'm not even going to stay for the end of this. I'm just going to go to the locker room, work on my broken hand, and call it a season. And then they brought in the backups, and then that was it. So I was stoked to see them win again, to see them win the dynasty. Of course, we'll always have the little thorn in our side that wishes they could have fulfilled the 73-win season and put themselves just one notch above the Chicago Bulls team. But, that just goes to prove it how hard it is to do that, even when you seemingly have all the momentum, all the chips stacked in your deck. Anything can happen if you take it for granted. So, but nonetheless, them winning this year still fulfills the goal of becoming a basketball dynasty. You can't become a dynasty unless you win at least 3 titles. Typically, the best of the best win 3 in a row, the Lakers being the last team that did that, and then the Chicago Bulls before that. So I was hoping we would fulfill that. We might have a chance next year, although going for a 5th time, that seems like a tall order, to be honest. And apparently this was like the most mentally challenging season for the Warriors. And I'm just not sure if they'll be able to retool and be mentally capable enough to do it, or if they're just run out of steam in the playoffs. I'm thinking perhaps the latter, but you never know. Anything can happen. I thought that they might get knocked out by the Rockets just because they weren't playing up to their potential. Iguodala seemed to be a huge missing component that allowed the Rockets to get back into the series 2 games in a row, but they ended up finding a way to beat them out and took advantage of the death quarter in the third against the Rockets. So I could totally be wrong. But nonetheless, I think it's pretty awesome to be a Bay Area sports fan. Even if you're not a fan of the other 2 sports, it's still awesome to be a fan because now we have another dynasty under our belt. We had the Niners in the 80s and early 90s, and then we kind of had a dry spell until the late 2000s when the Giants took it over and got us 3 chips in 5 years. And now the Warriors have kept that going almost year after year. Till 2014 is the last time we won it. The Warriors went the very next year. So we've kept the dynasty rolling since 2010, starting with the Giants. So 2010, 2008, 8 straight years, 2 dynasties back to back in different sports. Pretty awesome. So I think the next on the docket, of course, is the Niners to see if they can kind of rise to the top and see how well that they can win at that top level. So that's obviously a GoldCast for a couple months down the road as the football season starts. But for now, I think all the glory is rightfully deserved for Golden State.
So that is my challenge, Jimmy G. I know with bated breath you wait every week to hear what is the GoldCast going to say about me, Jimmy Jesus Garoppolo. What does the GoldCast think of the direction of Kyle Shanahan, our faithful leader, and these San Francisco 49ers? What does the GoldCast think about the Golden State Warriors? What does the GoldCast think about the San Francisco Giants? What does the GoldCast think about all these chips, all these dynasties? I know Jimmy Jesus Garoppolo, he literally thinks about this every week, and every week he just cannot wait till we're up here. And it's okay, Jimmy. We're here. And we're providing a challenge for you. Here's the challenge, Jimmy Jesus Garoppolo. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to deliver one more chip this decade. Your job, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to fix the wrong of 2012, the game we shall never speak of again, yet somehow we always end up doing it. This is your mission, my friend. If you choose to accept it, you have to finish it off. The quest for 6. You have to bring us the 6th.
He has a tall order, but he's got some amazing. For some reason, he just seems like he is locked in, and everybody on that team from the top down is just everyone's locked in on the same page. So I feel like that's where a lot of the hype is coming from for the Niners right now. It's just the way everybody's so perfectly aligned. So it's amazing. So, but anyways, we need to digress from that and keep our focus on the teams that are playing. So the Golden State has fulfilled the destiny. The Giants are in the race, are nicely in the race, and that's a great thing. We'll just have to see if they'll be able to keep it up.
Yeah, we're going to get to the Giants in a second. I think the Warriors have earned a little bit more talk. You know what I love the most about Steph Curry? This is the thing I love about Steph Curry. Michael Jordan was, they thought he was going to be the best from the moment he got in. He was the future king. LeBron James, the future quote-unquote king. Kobe Bryant, a champ. I mean, these guys were from the moment they came in. And here comes little baby Steph Curry with that little baby face and his little long-range shot. Everyone thought he had too much dependence on. The reason I think Steph Curry is the embodiment of the American dream is because Steph Curry willed himself to this level. He created the success around him. He invented this player. He didn't change for the game. He made the game change for him. And the thing I love about Curry is one of those people that if you're out there and you're thinking, man, I wonder if I can achieve something. Curry is that living proof. This man willed himself. 2-time back-to-back MVP. First unanimous MVP of all time. Back-to-back champs. Been to 4 straight. The greatest shooter of all time. Of all time. And he willed himself here through hard work, lots of failure, lots of patience. He went through a lot. He has overcome physical adversity, mental adversity, outside extrinsic adversity. He has overcome it all to will himself to be one of the greatest players on the planet. And if you think that you can't do anything, you just look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry is living proof that we can become anything we want to achieve. And that's the thing I love about Steph Curry. That's what I feel he brings the Bay Area fan. That is not something, you look at the Jerry Rices of the world, the Joe Montanas of the world, these guys were like gods. And Curry's just a mere mortal. And he elevated himself. The other one that comes to mind, because Deion Sanders isn't like this either. Deion Sanders was the best in college. I would say Steve Young. Steve Young and Steph Curry are 2 guys that willed themselves to the top of the pinnacle. And I think that these guys, they're like the blue collar working men of the San Francisco sports dynasty, the history, the lineage. These are the guys, they weren't the best. They weren't slated to be the best, and they just willed themselves. I mean, Young had a little bit of clout on him coming out of college, but Curry certainly not. And these guys willed themselves through hard work, through learning, through adversity, through failure. Curry has brought himself, elevated his game, forced the game to change to him. He didn't change to the game. He made the game change to him. How many players can say that? Klay Thompson, his humility, he's one of the best 2-way players in the game. Draymond Green is like the Richard Sherman of San Francisco, and now we have Richard Sherman, which is even weirder. But he's just one of those guys that if he's not on your team, you absolutely hate, but if he's on your team, you absolutely love, and that is Draymond. Then adding Kevin Durant, bringing him the biggest signing we've had since Deion Sanders back in 1994 to secure our 5th Super Bowl and finally best the Dallas Cowboys. Here is the second player, and unlike Deion, who was a one and done, KD has been here for two championships, 2 MVPs. I'm not going to get in whether or not he deserves it or what. That was for Steph Curry to decide. Steve Kerr to decide. Steph Curry doesn't care. No one cares. So I know everyone in the media is going to make a big deal about it. It's whatever. He won. He was solid as a rock. I think you could argue both ways. Doesn't matter either way. It's in the San Francisco Bay. It's at the Golden State Warriors. This whole I think LeBron should get it was a bunch of crap. I was like, oh, give me a break. No, you don't give it to the guy on the losing team. He's not the most valuable player. No, sorry. You maybe most valuable loser, or no, he's not a loser. I don't want to say that word. That's a harsh word. I don't know what you give him. I don't know. You give him, but giving him the MVP is like it's like a 10th place participation award. I'm completely against it. You give it to the winners. This is America. All right. And it just.
Yeah, I don't understand that thinking either.
Ridiculous, right?
It's not just about stats. It's about most valuable player within the context of the contest, not just most valuable to their, regardless win or lose. Like if you lost, clearly you weren't the most valuable player because it didn't come down to you.
Exactly.
So I think, and to be honest, this year you could have given the MVP to Curry or Kevin Durant. I think they should have been co-MVPs in my opinion. But if we had to pick one, if it was me voting, I would have gone with Curry. I felt like he was more consistent. Aside from the huge blunder in Game 3, so Curry's down game was obviously not as bad.
That pretty much cost him the MVP.
I think it did. If he'd had a good game, I think it would have been a seal of the deal. And obviously what Kevin Durant did, he single-handedly carried the team because Klay and Steph were completely out of it. Draymond is not a scorer. So what KD did in Game 3 was nothing short of miraculous. It was an amazing performance. And I think sometimes all you need is just that one crazy game to win a Finals MVP, and I think that's what Kevin Durant did. He did get a triple-double in Game 4, but his first two games were not the same. We're not even on par with Curry. Curry carried the team in Game 1, and he destroyed the Cavs in Game 2, and then was, of course, a shell of himself in Game 3, but then bounced back and led all scorers in Game 4. So I would have liked to see Klay get a little bit more stats on the board, but he was clearly playing hurt, and he just was off balance. Everything he was putting up was off balance. Just clearly wasn't himself. But he toughed it out anyways and played, which was a great thing to see because his presence on the floor is still, it's still a liability. So in other words, if you're the team, regardless if it's 75% Klay or 85% Klay, you still have to account for him on a defensive end in your transitions because he's on the floor. So I think that was still an important component for him to fulfill. Not only strategically to keep the Cavs on their toes, but also just to show the world, like, hey, I'm tough. Just because I'm the quiet one on the team doesn't mean that I don't have the same fortitude as my teammates, which clearly he does. So that was great to see too.
It was, man. The thing I love about this team, this is something my wife kept saying over and over and over again, which I thought was pretty awesome. She said the thing she loves the most about the Warriors is that they play like a team. This isn't just about one guy and one guy's legacy. LeBron. This is about a team, and this is about a team's journey, and it's about a team's legacy. It's just about this, the journey of this team and them and what they're trying to do, and that's what I love. I love that this is a team. I love this. There is no egos. This isn't about one man's legacy and his comparison to Michael Jordan, which I could give a flying shit about. It isn't about that at all. It's about a team. It's about a team winning. It's about building a team legacy, not one player's legacy, not how one player is going to end up in the history books. It's always about LeBron. It's always about LeBron. It's never about LeBron's teams. It's about LeBron and about LeBron's history and LeBron's legacy. And that's all he really cares about. And that's fine. That's completely fair. It's his life. It's his prerogative. He can do what he wants. But that's not how the Golden State Warriors win, and that's not what they do. And that's why he's lost 3 out of 4 times. And I wish we'd have got that 4th too, but it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as 2012 because we got 3 other ones to make up for it.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, the point is we've got it. We've got the 3 chips, so we've got the dynasty, and That's to me, that's all that counts. I don't really have a whole lot of regrets because now it's solidified within sports lore. Now it's a part of sports lore, and it's not like the Heat that went to 4 straight finals and can only win 2 out of 4. The Golden State Warriors went to 4, won 3 out of 4, and beat LeBron 3 times in order to accomplish that. So it's great. He loses 6, and he becomes he's an equal loser to Jordan's winning. So his losses equate Jordan's chips fulfilled. So the debate's over now. If there was ever a debate, to me, I never really saw one. But if there ever was a Jordan LeBron date, it just ended by the hands of the Warriors.
100%. 100%. I think that argument is ridiculous. First of all, I don't even think you can compare the eras. Is LeBron the best player in this time? Yes. Is the greatest ever? No, he's just not. And I think this entire argument about him being the best is perpetuated by anybody under the age of 30 who never saw Michael Jordan play. And I'm sorry, there is just no comparison. There isn't. Jordan is the greatest. He had a mystique. He had a magic about him. He wasn't nearly as insecure. He had a killer instinct. They're completely different people. They're completely different players. I don't give a shit about stats. At the end of the day, I care about the rings. And that's what we all care about. And Jordan is the greatest of all time. Bill Russell existed in an era that was so radically different. It's never going to compare. It's never going to compare. Jordan is the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. And it's just not a thing. This whole thing is super silly. And I don't care. To be honest, I don't really care where LeBron lines up in history. All I care about is the Golden State Warriors and what they've accomplished. I really don't care about anything that he's done. I don't care what LeBron's done. I'm not from Cleveland. I don't have to care. And I definitely don't care. It's great. I'm proud of you. That's incredible achievement. I don't have to care. Just like I don't think LeBron James gives a flying shit. Sorry, I'm like getting all rowdy, so I'm cursing a lot more than normal. I don't think he gives a crap about what the Golden State Warriors have done, right? Does anyone in Cleveland care about the Warriors? No. Why should they? And I don't care. It doesn't offend me. Fine. Yeah, I don't care what LeBron's done. I don't care that the Cavs have won one. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if they go 50 more years without winning one. I literally don't care. I like to say this all the time. Your city's inability to win a championship is not my city's problem. Okay, so that's how I feel about it. Your city's inability to win a championship is not my city's problem. I only care about one city, San Francisco. Golden State encompasses the whole Bay Area, so it's San Francisco Bay Area. That's all I care about right there. That's it. All I care about is my teams, and that's my God-given right as a fan. Ray, that's your God-given right as a fan.
Or their inability to draw tourism.
Or their inability to draw tourism. Or have a healthy, thriving real estate industry.
Yeah, not my problem. None of my business.
No, not at all. Raymond, do you know off the top of your head where the Giants are in the standings right now?
Yeah, they're in second place. They're 2.5 back from the Diamondbacks. And they're tied for second place with the Dodgers.
So I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, my barber, I have the best barber in LA. He's an amazing barber, about to open his own shop. He's incredible. Great barber. I went through like 10 barbers to find this guy. His name is Trevor. And Trevor is a psychopathic Dodgers fan. He's like me about the 49ers. Like when I'm walking around, I'm telling people all these stories about the history of the Niners and literally weaving into everything I do. People are like, oh my God, do you ever go a day without talking to the Niners? I'm like, no, I have a podcast based on this. Are you kidding me? He is like the same way about the Dodgers. Now, for his birthday, he had a barbecue at his home, and then we all went to a Dodger game. Now, this is the first time in my life, and hopefully the last time in my life, I ever go to a Dodgers game where the Giants aren't playing them. Because I refuse to go to a Dodger game where the Giants aren't there.
That's just weird.
That just sounds like it's super weird. Incredibly big waste of my time. So I went. They were playing the Atlanta Braves. Now the Atlanta Braves are right behind the Washington Nationals, trying to get to first place. And coincidentally, the Giants obviously are trying to get past the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I was telling some of the people there. I was telling one guy who was like a Braves fan who happened to be at this event too. I said, if the Giants win, because we'd lost yesterday. So I was like, if the Dodgers lose today, then it doesn't, and your Braves win, then the Braves get that much closer to taking first place. And if the Dodgers lose, they keep pace with the Giants. And if the Giants win tomorrow, that'll give the Giants opportunity to get ahead of the game. So obviously this is what I'm rooting for. I said, and since you're a Braves fan, we both have pretty big horses in this race. And he's like, absolutely, we both do, for sure. Like, he's like, yeah, you're right. I want to get past the Nats. You want to get past the Dodgers. We need the Braves to win today and the Dodgers to lose. Yes. And I said, well, here's the thing, though. I said, I don't know. I haven't been to many games. Like, I literally have maybe been to like 4 or 5 Giants-Dodger games in the entire time I've been here. Like, I never go for obvious reasons. And I was like, I told him, I said, there's one problem. I said, what? Every time I've been here, the Giants have lost. I've never seen the Dodgers lose in the stadium. Now, Raymond, I don't know if you know this, but I first started going to Giants games consistently in 2008. I went to 10 straight Giants games from 2008 to the very beginning of 9. At the end of 9. And I saw in the 10 games I had attended, the Giants had lost all of them. Every single game the first 10 games I'd ever attended, I saw them lose. Yeah, in fact, we were ahead by like 3. I'll never forget this. Lincecum comes on the mound, and we're ahead by 3. I'm like, oh my God, it's the 10th game. I'm gonna see them win. This is the 10th game I was at. Brian Wilson closes the game, gives up 3 runs. It's like 3 or 4 runs to lose the game, and the Giants lose. That was the 10th game I saw. They were up by 3 in the 9th inning with Brian Wilson on the mound, and he gave up the game. Horrible. I was like, dude, the 10th was the worst, I think. So I was like, oh my God. It was like, I was starting to think, I am truly cursed. I am truly bad luck for this team. And I beginning to feel like, I'm like, am I good luck for the douchebag Dodgers? And then I realized, well, they're playing the Braves. And then I realized, this is an incredible opportunity to pull a reverse jinx on the Dodgers. So I go to my buddy who's having his birthday, Trevor the Barber, and I tell Trevor the Barber, I go, Trevor, you guys might have a chance tonight. He goes, why? They were already down by like 2 runs. I said, well, I've never been here and had the Dodgers lose. I might be kind of like, good luck for your team. And the only reason I said that is because I was reverse jinxing it, because I knew that if I said that, and if I said it in that way, it would reverse jinx it, and the Dodgers would lose. And that is the power of sports superstitions. You're welcome, America. Thank you very much. That is how it's done. I voodoo dolled the Dodgers. You're welcome. That's how you do it. You sports jinx them. And they lost last night, thus allowing us to stay on pace with them. And we won today. The Dodgers are playing today. I'm assuming the Dodgers won. I didn't see anything. They must have won because our records are the same. Yeah, we both won 1. Yeah. So, anyways, that is my Dodgers story. It was weird to be there, and I was like, oh God, this sucks. I was like, man, this team sucks. These colors suck. Oh, you'll love this. Trevor hates the orange and black, right? And he goes, your Halloween colors, your stupid Halloween colors. God, you guys are wearing them in the summer. Listen, unless it's the last 2 weeks of October, nobody should be wearing orange and black. And I said, well, Trevor, the last 2 weeks of October is when the Giants shine the most. And he looked at me and he said, oh, you son of a bitch. I was like, I'm just saying. I mean, October's kind of our month, it's kind of what we do. So I think the colors make a lot of sense. I think it's very symbolic, I know you guys don't know a lot about that here right now. Oh, Rudy, you son of a bitch. You're like, yeah, yeah, just saying. Just, I'm not saying anything.
Or ever,
since
1989 or 1990.
Yep.
Was it 1990 or 91? The A's went to 3 straight.
No
and they
idea.
lost to the Reds and the Dodgers, but they beat the Giants.
Yeah, so it was 88. It is 88. 88's the last time. Dodgers lost in the ones 88 because they won in 89 against San Francisco. But congratulations. Let's hope they keep it going. Yeah, Raymond, we're about to wrap up. We do want to let everyone know that we will be taking a break in July. So I'm going to give you guys the heads up now. We're going through the rest of June, but July is the slowest sports month of the year. And last year, we went through July and we just kind of felt like we were not really talking about anything, kind of phoning it in. And we don't want to really deliver episodes like that. We want to deliver episodes like this where you can hear the passion and the drive and the fandom that we have, and you guys can share in it, and you guys can have your fandom mixed with ours. That's really what we want to have. We're not really interested in having these episodes that, where we're just kind of just doing it to do it. But during July, we're really doing this. And we know we've kept it for 6 months. We will be testing and figuring out the video so that when the new 49er season starts, as requested by the GoldCast Nation, there will be video. That won't be a live stream, but it will be a video. You'll see our faces, our beautiful, beautiful American, Latino, Nicaraguan, San Francisco faces. We're going to deliver them to you. Do your best to, not drool too much when you watch us on the screen, because I'm going to be humble, and I'm going to say we're just extraordinarily beautiful people. And that's just me being humble. I'm not going to, I don't want to overinflate it, but I think extraordinarily beautiful is probably extremely, extremely accurate. What would you say, Ray?
If I was going to be modest about it, that's how I would put it.
Raymond, why don't you let them know where they can find us? Because we didn't do that in the beginning.
You can like us on Facebook.com/TheGoldCast. You can also follow us on Twitter @TheGoldCast_. You can also follow us on Instagram @TheGoldCast. And you can also subscribe to us via iTunes, YouTube, and Stitcher, all under the same moniker of The GoldCast. So like, subscribe, comment. We will always do our best to try to respond to either myself or Rudy will respond to you. So just keep in mind, we do both read it, but we kind of take turns. It's kind of whoever gets to it first will respond to it. So, but we have been working on the video stuff the whole time. Everything you've heard, I know we originally talked about getting this going in February, but it proved a lot more challenging than we had originally anticipated. We're not Twitch streamers. We're not on there doing all that kind of live editing and stuff that those players do. So, and we both work anywhere from 6 to 7 days, mostly 7 days a week. So it's pretty hard for us to kind of sit down and set aside, a couple hours to just kind of go through a bunch of tutorials and open up our own systems at the same time. It's kind of like I get home from work, I eat, I settle in, and then I immediately get onto the GoldCast. It's often the same for Rudy. So that's why it's taken so long. It's just because it's been really, really find the time to kind of nail down the settings and all of the software that we need, and also the hardware too, because we're going to be working with green screens and all kinds of stuff. We want to make it high quality, so we have the best cameras that all of the today's streamers and YouTubers use. So it's not like we're doing this with little ambition. We both have green screens, we both have top of the line cameras. So a lot of things have to be working properly for that to function the way we do, and to record it properly so you guys actually have a good show to go along with all the great audio that you've been supporting over the last few years. So just bear with us. We're going to try to take care of that next month when we take a break from the show. We're going to use in the time that we would normally be doing recording to actually kind of get online together and kind of iron out all of the kinks that are needed to give you a new brand of the GoldCast. So just hang in there.
Yeah, absolutely, Raymond. That was extremely well said, and I couldn't agree more. Well done, really, really well done. And he's right. The YouTube fan base is pretty rabid. And especially during football season, oh my goodness, man, your guys' comments, it's incredible. We love it. It's really, really consistent. And so we really want to deliver a great product. And this year, it's our goal, especially in the month of July during that break. It is our goal to give that, because iTunes is super strong and episodes are super strong, but we obviously want the subscription base of YouTube to be on par with iTunes and be way up there in the thousands like it is for iTunes. So We're going to deliver. We're excited. Raymond, before we leave, why don't you let them know where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ray Solis and on Instagram at Ray Solis1.
You can find me on Instagram at Rudy Solis3 and on Twitter at Rudy Solis3RD, Rudy Solis 3rd. Before we go, once again, congratulations to the Golden State Warriors on winning their 3rd championship and locking up their dynasty. And congratulations to all of us, all of you, the San Francisco Bay Area sports fans, the diehards, the people that have sat for years and years and watched all of these teams. You know, one person I thought a lot about, Ray, kind of getting, you know, we're wrapping up. I'm going to be real fast here, but I thought about our grandfather, Rudy Solis the First, and how much I wish he was alive to have seen the championships of this decade. Unfortunately, he passed in 2008, but he would have loved to have seen this. He would have loved to have seen
Yeah, he would.
all of these championships. And even though he would have, even though he wasn't the biggest basketball fan, I feel like this Warriors era would have brought him all the way into the NBA, and he would have loved it. He would absolutely love it.
Yeah, totally. It would have been great. It's a shame that he's not here to enjoy it, but that's all right. We will carry the torch for him. He's enjoying it in spirit for sure.
Absolutely. And that's for everybody. For all, you know, for all of us that you know, whose family legacies have been watching these teams for as long as our families have. We're carrying the torches for those who couldn't be here. And what a magnificent time to be alive. And what an amazing time to be a San Francisco sports fan. And we're really happy that we get to share this with you guys, because this podcast is really about us expressing what we talk about with all of our fellow San Francisco Bay Area sports fans. So hop online, come talk to us, share your stories about the Warriors. Go Giants, go. When we come back, the All-Star break will be over, and hopefully this race will have tightened up even further. And hopefully the Giants will be in first or in a battle for first, because that's exciting too. Anyways, so concludes another.
Well, they're right there in it. It's a pretty tight race for all the teams in the standing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's a tight race. It's not like the AL West over there with the A's, where the A's are a few games over 500, but they're dealing with the Mariners, who are running away with it at 41-24. Same with the Astros, for the current champs. But Giants, Dodgers tied. Rockies 3.5 back. You know, the Giants just need to clean up the road woes. But they've been 8-10 the last 10 games, so I'm excited for that. Dodgers 7-3 their last 10 games, so they're picking up the pace too. And Diamondbacks, of course, are 7-3. So it's a tight race. It's anyone's game, but my money's on the Giants.
My money's on the Giants too, man. This is going to be some exciting baseball this year. I got a good feeling. So concludes another edition of the GoldCast. 3-time Dynasty GoldCast Nation. 3 Dynasty GoldCast fans. These are our chips as well. Congratulations. And we'll see you next time. Same GoldCast time. Same GoldCast channel.
This is the GoldCast.